Warning: this video contains language and subjective views not suitable for all viewers. Please exit the video if you cannot tolerate a viewpoint different from your own. Thank you and enjoy.
Well, if you're seeing this, I'm probably dead. Hey, good to see you, man.
I am going to continue to ask the question. A 20-hour response in a country the size of New Jersey. That begs a big explanation. And more importantly, America is significantly underwriting the Israeli government $4 billion a year. We as American taxpayers deserve answers to this. We deserve answers. Also, if we're going to get into a regional or world war based on an intel failure, so, I mean, we pay for this. What are we buying, right? I got smeared as a Jew hater, an anti-Semite, and conspiracy theorist because I said exactly what I just said. And I refused to back down despite all the smears thrown at me. Because I learned during COVID. I learned when they told us that it came from a bat in the Himalayas. I learned when they told us the vaccine was safe and effective. I learned when they told us that ivermectin was horse paste, that you better keep asking questions because it's the only thing that keeps us free.
Erika, do you ever get hate from Charlie's work? How do you handle it? Charlie, do you ever feel guilt, or do you ever deal with guilt when Erika gets hate? No, I don't.
From everyone, and you guys get this too. You get the echo chamber, you get people analyzing everything about you. They think they know everything about you, they know nothing about you. They see you on TV, they think, oh, she's this, she's that. He said this, he said that. And honestly, it's Charlie saying, baby E, just stop. Stop. You don't have to answer to every single person that's accusing you of things or saying that you're doing this or grieving a certain way. Baby, just stop. You know who you are and whose you are, and I'm here, I see you. And if Charlie, and I'm taking a page out of his book, if he answered to every single critic and didn't stop and put his phone down and breathe and rest with the Lord, he'd get nothing done. He would not have built Turning Point USA.
Feel guilt, or do you ever deal with guilt when Erika gets hate? No, I don't.
3 people told me off record. 2 people who have this in a written communication from Charlie. One who was a Turning Point USA donor, and I would say very much one of the white knights in this. The very day before Charlie Kirk died, he expressed that he thought he was going to be killed.
Do you think Charlie knew to some degree and had made the conscious choice that I may be taken out early, not saying he knew that day, but that he had any inkling that this might come his way and that he intentionally chose to move forward with faith in God?
It's interesting because I have unbelievable amounts of death threats. My kids have kidnapping threats, death threats. Our whole team has death threats. We knew that there was always going to be a threat, but Charlie and I we promised each other we would never live in fear. And he would say, if they're going to get me, they're going to get me. But he was not messaging people the day before saying, I'm going to be murdered, they're coming after me, someone's going to kill me. He didn't say that. And I have his cell phone. And I have his cell phone.
A month ago, he wrote me this: please pray for me. I'm under the gun on something right now. Prayers appreciated. Charlie had courage. A few months ago, there was some violent act in the news, and I texted him and I said, I hope you've increased your security detail. He texted me back. He said, quote, I have. I know they want me dead. And I don't know who he meant by they, maybe just radicals on the left, but that didn't stop him from exposing himself to danger. No, look, Charlie didn't really like the word safe. He knew that ministry required you to take risks.
But he was not messaging people the day before saying, I'm going to be murdered, they're coming after me, someone's going to kill me. He didn't say that. And I have his cell phone.
He told these people, I think they're going to kill me, okay? He did not express that to me, so I'm telling you this based off the testimony of 3 people. And I'm saying this because I hope that these people who I think are good will be inspired to come forward with that. Again, those conversations I had were off record. I honor that. If I say it's off record, it stays off record. But I'm hoping that watching what I am doing and feeling the energy that is rising across the world for people who want to know what the heck happened on 9/10, that, they will be brave and they will say, yeah, Charlie did the day before he died think that he was going to be killed, and maybe tell us, who is they? Well, for once and for all, who is they? Who is the they that he thought were going to kill him?
So we drove in, and as we were driving in, Charlie got some video footage from drones above. This is an hour before it was supposed to start, and there were thousands of people there. And I'm looking at the video footage, and I go, Charlie, I don't like this place. There's too many buildings. But Charlie, knowing that the people wanted to interact, and being brave that as he was, he just kind of shrugged it off. So I texted him. I said, Charlie, I hope you've increased your security detail. He says, oh, I have. They want me dead. I don't know who he meant by they, but as you know, there's been several violent attacks, and he knew that he was a target.
Didn't say that. And so what I do know is that we believe in the power of prayer. And what I do know is that we believe in our sovereign God. And what I do know is that night before, we did what we usually did before tours. We said our prayer. And we asked the Lord to protect us. And we asked the Lord that his will be done. That's what we did.
And I can tell you 1000% that Andrew Colvett told me the night before Charlie was murdered that Charlie Kirk texted him and said, they are going to kill me. Andrew Colvett is the person who received a text message from Charlie Kirk saying they're going to kill me. And I'm not getting that third party. I got that directly from Andrew Colvett. He asked me to keep it off record, and I would have kept it off record if Erika did not imply that I lied, right? So, I mean, I'm not saying she is saying Candace is lying. I am saying that since I was the one who put it out there, she's implying that I'm lying and that that's not true. So we have a scenario here where either Andrew Colbert has told an explicit lie or Erika Kirk is telling an explicit lie. It's not up for me to determine who. I didn't receive that text message, but yeah. And I also was told by a person at Turning Point USA, who I'm not going to name because they are one of my sources, that Dan Flood received the same message. So there you go. I don't know. I believe that she has his phone. I maybe somebody deleted it, but I don't know why Andrew Colbert, 48 hours after Charlie was dead, would lie to me. He did not sound like he was lying. He sounded very concerned about it, and I specifically said, like, who's they? Like, you know, like he said they're gonna kill me. He said, I don't know who he was talking about, and I thought it's kind of weird. Yeah, that's what I can tell you. I can just tell you the truth.
But he was not messaging people the day before saying, I'm going to be murdered, they're coming after me, someone's going to kill me. He didn't say that. And I have his cell phone.
Honestly, this is how I know God made us for each other, because anytime I do get quote unquote hate, it's the same stuff you get. Like, I don't even want to say, it's not even worth saying it or repeating the things that were called or the names that were called. But yes, I do. I've lost family members, I've lost friends, but I actually am kind of grateful that that's happened, because God has pruned my life in a way where I am surrounded in a circle now by people who love us, support us, pray with us, encourage us.
Small, mighty circle.
And that's what I would much rather have, a small, mighty circle than a massive one. It's the people that, you know, that you can trust and pour into. And yes, do I get hate? Bring it on.
But my husband's legacy is not about his murder. My husband's legacy is what he left behind.
I just reject that. Okay, I reject that there's a higher calling that we need to all get around, and the legacy of actually the legacy, if we find out that the government is implicated, and it looks like to me, and I think a lot of people on the outside, the government is implicated, then actually his legacy is going to be a person who gave all of himself to helping people get elected, all of himself to this political machine, was ultimately killed by it. And I think that matters to a lot of people.
You wanted to see Charlie immediately and came up. Take us through that.
We walked into that room. He had this smirk on his face. That smirk to me is that look of, you thought you could stop what I've built. You thought that you could end this vision, this movement, this revival. You thought you could do that by murdering me. You got my body, you didn't get my soul.
Father, forgive them, for they not know what they do. That man, that young man, I forgive him.
The podcaster Candace Owens, okay? At one time, a friend of Charlie's, at one time, an employee of Turning Point. She has been one of the main peddlers of these conspiracies, and she's making a huge amount of money on it. She is building her business off of these lies. What do you want to say to her and the other people that are putting these lies out into the world right now? Stop. That's it. That's all I have to say. Stop.
That you better keep asking questions, because it's the only thing that keeps us free.
Yes, do I get hate? Bring it on.
Like me to stop lying, and I would like to honor that, okay? I can only honor that if Erika is more explicit in terms of what I have lied about. What did I lie about? It's just incredible. There have this opportunity. The questions have been before. You could just start like going through them. Maybe they will. By the way, it's coming out on Saturday. Maybe I've made a mistake somewhere, and I'm happy. I want to correct that, right? I'm not interested. My goal is not to tell lies. It is obviously plausible that I have made mistakes. I've reviewed these lists that we've put together, and I can't find the lie, okay? The lies that I find are coming out of Turning Point USA.
That young man, I forgive him.
From the perspective of a grieving widow, a mom, and a battle-tested American. Good to see you again today. Talk to me about this part of the conspiracies that are out there, this disturbing part that people are trying to guess where Charlie is.
Can I have one thing? Can I have one thing? Can my children have one thing? Everything was public. He is building a wall, and the townspeople are at the base of that hill saying, Nehemiah, calling him all these names, saying all these things, come on down. Every single time he had the same message 4 times in a row. I cannot come down. I am busy building. That is how I feel. I do not have time to address the noise. My silence does not mean that I am complacent. My silence does not mean that somehow Turning Point USA and all of the handpicked staff that loved my husband and my husband loved them is somehow in on it. We are busy building. And you know what I thought? I thought these people are human. We're all grieving in our own way. And they are trying to find the answer to something that happened that was so evil. They are trying so hard. And I get that. We're doing the same. Anytime we hear a lead or anytime we hear anything, we send it to the authorities. Please dig into this. No rock will be unturned. I want justice for my husband, for myself, for my family, more than anyone else out there. So for me, you want to keep telling me to come down while we're building? I don't have time for that. But here's my breaking point on that. Come after me, call me names, I don't care. Call me what you want, go down that rabbit hole, whatever. But when you go after my family, my Turning Point USA family, my Charlie Kirk Show family, when you go after the people that I love, and you're making hundreds and thousands of dollars every single episode going after the people that I love because somehow they're in on this, no.
You don't have to say it. I've never seen you like that.
No, this is righteous anger because this is not okay. It's not healthy. This is a mind virus.
That young man, I forgive him.
I am on this journey to figure out what happened on that day. I'm not going to stop unless Erika Kirk asks me to stop.
We were told that if we said stop, it would stop. And we said stop. And I'll say it again. Please stop.
That you better keep asking questions because it's the only thing that keeps us free.
Erika, do you ever get hate from Charlie's work? How do you handle it? Charlie, do you ever feel guilt, or do you ever deal with guilt when Erika gets hate? No, I don't.
Yes, do I get hate? Bring it on. But my husband's legacy is not about his murder. My husband's legacy is what he left behind. That's it.
We'll see if it's listened to.
Please stop lying. But as soon as she tells me what it is I've lied about, I will cease lying immediately.
That young man, I forgive him.
Jewish donors, they have a lot of explaining to do, a lot of decoupling to do, because Jewish donors have been the #1 funding mechanism of radical, open border, neoliberal, quasi-Marxist policies, cultural institutions, and nonprofits. This is a beast created by secular Jews. And now it's coming for Jews, and they're like, what on earth happened? And it's not just the colleges, it's the nonprofits, it's the movies, it's Hollywood, it's all of it. And it's not just the colleges, it's the nonprofits, it's the movies, it's Hollywood, it's all of it. It's the movies, it's Hollywood, it's all of it. It's like time for you guys to wake up and say no more, draw a line in the sand. I don't care if you hate me. Time for you guys to wake up. Time for you guys to wake up and say no more, draw a line in the sand. I don't care if you hate me. I don't care if you hate me.
Yes, I believe in our judicial system. I do.
Ask you. We're going to start it off easy, very lighthearted question. Okay. Who runs the world?
Who runs the world? Well, the scriptures say that Satan actually runs the world. He's the prince of this world.
You're the great Satan. We're the little Satan. You're the great Satan. We're the little Satan. You're the great Satan. We're the little Satan.
But currently, there's an oligarchy that's really hard to pinpoint of who's actually calling the shots. And that's really what's happening in this election, is that the presidency is no more. It's really kind of a shadow government of administrative experts that call the shots.
Yes, I believe in our judicial system. I do.
That the president is basically just a Hollywood actor or actress that goes around, poses for pictures, produce speeches. They don't actually make any decisions. And so the form and the structure of government, as the founding fathers intended, is no more. The structure of government as they intended was co-equal branches, but the president, not just the presidency, has authority and can sign executive orders and can make decisions and can veto bills. And that individual person has agency. He or she has a team, but that is an individual person. That idea is gone now. We now have rule by committee, rule by group, and it really is a secret society that is governing the country. Who they are is a mystery. We have some idea, but it's permanent Washington that runs this country and most of the Western world. That's people like Anne Applebaum, like Victoria Nuland. These are names that your audience might not know. Obviously, Valerie Jarrett. These are Susan Rice. These are people that live and exist to strengthen the regime, to disempower the American citizen. They do not believe in borders. They do not believe in the welfare of the American people. They certainly don't believe in God. They believe in a very, very aggressive foreign policy position in the ever expansion of the American empire.
Yes, I believe in our judicial system. I do.
Again, I think the best reading of what happened there is who wanted JFK dead the most. Again, a lot of people said Israel wanted JFK dead. I'd love to hear that argument. But definitely Lyndon Baines Johnson and parts of our own government and the Cubans wanted him dead. And who actually made it happen? There were like 15 or 20 things that happened that day that were inexcusable. They changed the parade route. He rode in an open air convertible. LBJ decided not to ride alongside of him. The vehicle slowed down right when it went by the Texas School Book Depository. A lot there, right? And then again, I think that all of us are smarter to believe that it was simply Lee Harvey Oswald. The more important question is not, oh, who did it? We have to first acknowledge it that more than one person did it. Once we acknowledge that more than one person did it, then we can expose our government to have lied to us about the JFK assassination, which then I think will sober a lot of us about trusting the government in the future.
Yes, I believe in our judicial system. I do. We have a hell of a team working on this, excuse my French. But this is not okay.
So you want to put these people back in the box where they've been creeping from?
I don't care what box you're in. But just know that your words are very powerful, and we are human. My team are not machines and they're not robots. They are human. We have more death threats on our team and our side than I have ever seen. I have kidnapping threats. I have, you name it, we have it. And my poor team is exhausted. And every time they bring this back up, what are we supposed to do? Relive that trauma all over again? They watched my husband get murdered. I have no idea how I would have reacted if I was there that day. And thank the good Lord that I did not have to see that happen. But my team, They are rocked to the core. So why every single day do they have to be dragged through the mud, analyzed, hyper-analyzed?
It's Charlie saying, baby E, just stop. Stop. You don't have to answer to every single person that's accusing you of things or saying that you're doing this or grieving a certain way. Baby, just stop.
Yes, do I get hate? Bring it on.
Exactly.
I'll have a velvet steel spine by the end of my life. So bring it on. I have nothing to fear.
Yeah, I mean, look, we get a lot of hate, we get a lot of death threats, but it's just part of life. It makes you stronger.
Right.
And honestly, if you are out there and you aren't getting a lot of hate, then
what are you doing?
Well, yeah, you're not doing anything that
No,
bothers Satan.
exactly.
You're just being boring. You're probably honestly doing the bidding of the enemy.
Right. No, it's true.
But my husband's legacy is not about his murder. My husband's legacy is what he left behind.
Turning Point USA is known for advocating for free speech on college campuses. What do you see as the biggest threat to free expression in higher education today?
The left.
Would you like to elaborate?
My wish for the left is that you will become liberal again and no longer leftist. Free speech is a liberal value. It is not a left-wing value. It is wrong, and I'm sure we'll talk about this in the Q&A. You should be allowed to say outrageous things. You should be allowed to say contrarian things. Free speech is a birthright that you gave us, and you guys decided not to codify it, and now it's poof, it's basically gone. And I think there's something really troubling about that.
The podcaster Candace Owens, okay? At one time, a friend of Charlie's, at one time, an employee of Turning Point. She has been one of the main peddlers of these conspiracies, and she's making a huge amount of money on it. She is building her business off of these lies. What do you want to say to her and the other people that are putting these lies out into the world right now?
Stop. That's it. That's all I have to say. Stop.
That you better keep asking questions because it's the only thing that keeps us free.
I got a question.
Sure. What was your name again? I'm sorry.
I don't think I told you. My name's Mercury.
Nice to meet you. Okay, I've been asked that question a lot. First of all, that question should not even have to be asked, but when people stop talking, really bad stuff starts. When marriages stop talking, divorce happens. When civilizations stop talking, civil war ensues. When you stop having a human connection with someone you disagree with, it becomes a lot easier to want to commit violence against that group. What we as a culture have to get back to is being able to have a reasonable disagreement where violence is not an option.
You think that's not emotional violence?
How is this? What is emotional violence, by the way? I don't know what that is.
It is harm intentionally perpetrated on another human being that is intentionally targeted at their emotional well-being.
Okay, so feelings mean nothing to me. Isn't why we have the First Amendment to try to push our boundaries and to hear things that might make you mildly uncomfortable?
This doesn't make me mildly uncomfortable.
Does it make you very uncomfortable?
It makes me angry.
When you juxtapose that with today, what is the breaking point in your opinion? What does that look like? Right. And is there a way to prevent it from being just catastrophically violent?
Yes, I mean, that's why I'm here. And so the only thing that stops you from violence is speech. Think about it. Everyone's been close to a fist fight in life. Sometimes let's talk it out. Fist fight that's like any intellect, right? It's just pure primal, pure tribal. That's human norm in history. There's a bunch of tribes fighting, going to war. The fact that we're able to have decent society is that we're able to come out and have conversation. What do you believe and why do you believe this?
But are we though? I mean, are we like, you're getting shouted down by everybody?
I will say the vast majority of students have been very, very polite here.
That's true.
And so don't ascribe the fringe to the rule. So I have faith in the American people to speak this thing out. I hope, even if we have like the most diametrically opposed opinions, the fringes want us just to kind of stay in our corner and scream at each other. I think that's really destructive.
You know, the conspiracies that are out there, all of the like. Do you think that there is more of it now because you do shine your light? I mean, did people just expect you would just go away?
I don't know what they expected. I don't know what they expected.
They pick on you because of your accessories. I mean, I've seen some of it.
Oh yeah, no, at this point, it's what the conspiracy collection. Get it before Christmas. Like, seriously, if you want to find and pick me apart, go right ahead. I do not care. I don't. This was happening before Charlie was murdered. Both of us have been through the ringer of people will call you whatever they want to call you and cry and be in fetal position. This is a duty to my husband and it's an absolute honor and I will never back down. And so my message to them is to stop. To stop.
That you better keep asking questions because it's the only thing that keeps us free.
Yes, do I get hate? Bring it on.
Every single day, do they have to be dragged through the mud, analyzed?
Because they're lying. Because they're lying. That's why. And we've caught them in multiple lies. That would be why. So I'm gonna play it again, and I'm gonna stop it this time. So I wanted to play it all the way through. I almost did. So let's watch it.
Righteous anger doesn't seem like anger. Never mind righteousness of it. It doesn't seem like anger to me. I've been watching auditions for 3 days.
Wasn't it weird, Kurt? Isn't it weird that she's angrier at the people trying to get to the bottom of who killed Charlie than she is at the guy she thinks killed Charlie?
Well, Candace's words have never been this powerful. Why would they be that powerful unless you fucked up in some way?
Isn't it? Yes. Isn't it? It's just amazing that she's not angry at the guy who actually she thinks killed her husband. She already forgave him, but she cannot get over the people who are trying to get to the bottom of it. Isn't that interesting? Let's watch this again. We'll stop and start.
Come after me. Call me names. I don't care. Call me what you want.
I think you do care.
Go down that rabbit hole.
Well, I think you care, A, and B, nobody has been calling you names.
It's not a rabbit hole to call you names, by the way.
Yeah, that's not a rabbit hole. That's a misuse of the term rabbit hole.
But when you go after my family, my Turning Point USA family, my Charlie Kirk Show family, when you go after the people that I love, and you're making hundreds and thousands of dollars.
You guys sold t-shirts at his funeral. You phony. You sold
fireworks at the event. That was probably hard to get into.
You had fireworks at his memorial.
Will you bring the spectacle back to rock?
You guys made $70 million in a few weeks after his death. You're upset that someone is still doing the same show she's done every day of her life for the last 10 years? You're upset about someone still doing a show that she's always done? Getting the same numbers that she's always gotten?
And don't your mom work for a defense contractor? Which is automatically not a good point. Right. You followed around. And also that Romanian charity is real weird. A lot of stuff's real weird about the whole thing.
And she doesn't have any questions, again, about the actual obvious BS story that's coming from the same people who covered up the Epstein files. The same people who covered up the Epstein files are the same people telling you, and the same people who covered up the Butler assassination are the same people who are telling you that it was a lone nut, Tyler Robinson, and nothing they say makes sense. Nothing. Well, here's what I say. Let's keep going.
Every single episode going after the people that I love because somehow they're in on this.
Because they're lying. Why do you never mention that she's caught them in multiple lies? The lie that, hey, they said that Charlie didn't turn against Israel and he was a staunch supporter of them, and then she releases the text messages that shows that everybody was lying about that at TPUSA. Josh Hammer was lying about it. Everybody at TPUSA was lying about it. They're all lying about that. Isn't that interesting to you? Not interesting to Erika.
Tim Pool was angrier than she is.
Okay.
No.
You don't have to say it. I've never seen you like that.
No, I'm very, this is righteous anger.
More righteous anger than you had towards the guy who you think killed your husband. Isn't that weird? Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, that's weird.
My TPUSA family, I'm more emotional about that than from my husband.
That's right.
Killed.
You are more defensive over your TPUSA family than you are about your own husband.
Yo, go stroke JD Vance's hair. Maybe you'll feel better.
Yes.
Because this is not okay. It's not healthy. This is a mind virus.
Anybody telling you to not ask questions around an obvious cover-up of an assassination that happened in public is in on the cover-up.
This book is very personal to me because these are Charlie's last words. And I feel like they were almost directed to me. And he's basically saying, stop. The world does not revolve around you. You need a moment to breathe. You need a moment to recalibrate. If you are so filled with busyness and the noise, the Lord cannot use you. So please rest, be with the Lord, be with your family, and just know that there is so much more out there than the little busyness that you find to be drowning in it sometimes.
That you better keep asking questions because it's the only thing that keeps us free.
Erika, do you ever get hate from Charlie's work? How do you handle it? Charlie, do you ever feel guilt, or do you ever deal with guilt when Erika gets hate? No, I don't.
Yes, do I get hate? Bring it on. But my husband's legacy is not about his murder. My husband's legacy is what he left behind.
And then again, I think that all of us are smarter to believe that it was simply Lee Harvey Oswald. The more important question is not, oh, who did it? We have to first acknowledge it that more than one person did it. Once we acknowledge that more than one person did it, then we can expose our government to have lied to us about the JFK assassination, which then I think will sober a lot of us about trusting the government in the future. Exactly.
I'll have a velvet steel spine by the end of my life. So bring it on. I have nothing to fear.